I'm just I'm going to do a video reflection for the field experience teaching assignment and the instructional delivery reflection. So based on my delivery of my lesson. So number one, positive learning environment. It's actually one of my biggest goals as a special ed teacher is to establish a really good, solid learning environment for all my students so that they feel safe, that they can learn. Sometimes school is the safest place that they are, and so I want to make sure that my classroom is somewhere that they want to be and they feel comfortable to answer questions and confident in that. So in referring to that, on the beginning, right when my student got into class before I turned on the recorder, I said, "Good morning, how was your night last night?" I always like to ask, what'd you do? Did you do anything fun? Especially now that it's summer, did you go to any baseball games or softball games or anything like that? Just to see, that they're staying active and stuff like that too. And during my lesson, my student and I have really good rapport. He has been my student for the whole past year. And so we have a really good, solid relationship already. So that's good. Hopefully that came across in the video as well. I think referring to him liking animals right in the beginning of the lesson and just letting him talk about sharks and how he saw a picture of a shark and stuff like that. I think that's good. So leading to number two, keeping the student engaged. During direct instruction, there are a lot of chances for the student to be engaged in the lesson. Lots of questions to ask the student. I ask questions whenever I can just to make sure and ensure the understanding of what we are talking about and being able to write. I had the graphic organizer on the board, but also he had it right in front of him on a worksheet. And so to be able to have that for him so he can write while I'm writing on the board, I think was a good way for him to stay engaged. So it wasn't just me writing on the board, he was actually having to write as well. Otherwise, if I'm just writing on the board, he's probably not paying attention as much, but when you kind of force them to write as well, then they do tend to listen better. So, feedback. So providing feedback to the learners, I try and do it immediately and be as specific as possible so that they know what to change and what I expect out of them. So about 2.5 minutes into the lesson, I told the student, good job after we did the vocab words. I can tell you've been practicing your words. Good job on practicing your words. I like when you go home and do that. So that was good. At about 8 minutes, while I was getting the graphic organizer on the board and I was asking about the main idea, trying to lead into the main idea of being more specific about sharks, and he said, it's about tiger sharks. Well, you're right, it is about tiger sharks, but then led him into the main idea. So he didn't exactly have the correct answer, but I kind of led him towards the answer, and I think that's good feedback to give them, that's right, but we need to go a little bit further. So that was good. So, analysis of my lesson. I thought the lesson went well. I'm never too concerned about that student's behavior. He's pretty good, pretty well behaved. The other student that I have, he is a little bit has more behavior. So I did actually want to do the lesson with him, but he's been absent for a while, so that didn't work out. One thing I would do differently if I was going to teach the same lesson to the same learner again, what I would do, because I didn't feel like I gave him enough examples to find the main idea on his own, because the main idea was kind of given on the graphic organizer. I mean, we did find it together, so that was good, but I wish that he would have had to do it a little more on his own. So what I would do is for the independent practice, give him another book. And with this particular student, I would probably have to read the book to him, unless we could maybe use a book around that level too. That would work for him. But have the student find the main idea and details, or come up to the board and write the details. So he was moving around. So during the lesson, have him actually come up to the board and write the details, or if you wanted to just put like little blurbs of the detail if it was too long of a sentence or something like that. But yeah, I would have liked to, see a little bit more of what he can come up with for main idea and details with having 4 boxes. I wanted to do one myself, have us do about 2 together, and then have him do 1 independently. But now reflecting on the lesson, I would have liked to see him find more of the main idea and the details by himself. So, thank you.